Hi, everyone. This is Chandra. I want to thank you for joining me today. So, I want to talk to you about finding strength in faith. Now, there are many facets to that, but I would say one of the first things to do is that something that a lot of people don't really do or don't want to do, but it's important. You want to read the Bible for yourself. And when I say read it, I mean read it from cover to cover. So, from Genesis to Revelations. You want to read it as much of it as you can and as often as you can. I've had the pleasure of being able to read scriptures at least a chapter a day, most days for the past decade or more. And I can't tell you how much it has enriched my life, changed my life, and just made me see the world in a completely different way. So there are a lot of benefits to reading scriptures in their entirety. And I would say that the chief one is to protect yourself from schemers. If you didn't hear me the first time, you want to protect yourself from schemers. You'll find schemers everywhere, in church, outside of church. I think the most dangerous schemer is the person who knows scriptures backward and forward and can use them to manipulate other people. So if you already have the knowledge, if you already have developed a discernment that only comes from above, you can protect yourself from anyone who tries to manipulate scriptures or tries to manipulate anything else. Now, the other equally important benefit of reading the Bible every day is that it helps you develop a much stronger relationship with the Most High God. And I don't know about you, but these days, spiritually, mentally, I can use all the help I can get. So I can always turn to the wisdom in the Bible and biblical scriptures to help guide me, to help guide my decisions, and help me understand the world around me. So that's two very important benefits. Another one is that it overall it really strengthens your mind. We have so many things coming at us through social media, through television, through the people that we know. And there's also this notion of um, being spiritual. And, anyone can be spiritual, whether they are trying to be righteous or their aim is evil. So you want to be able to keep your mind strengthened so that you know the difference. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to regularly examine the scriptures for yourself. And the good thing is that there's so many resources online now that if you have any questions about what you read or what you don't understand, the the references are all over the place. You can Google so many different things. There's so many different resources. Now, with that, you still have to be careful. You still have to use wisdom. You still have to use discernment because even YouTube, as much as I love and adore YouTube, there are so many people um, on it talking about the Most High, our Heavenly Father, about the Bible, about scriptures, that it's pretty easy to get misled. So it all goes back to reading it for yourself, for understanding, and for wisdom. Now, in terms of finding strength and faith, I do have some favorite scriptures that I love to read. One I read every day to ground me, to keep me strong, keep me mentally and spiritually strong is Psalm 91. That is probably right now my favorite psalm. In Psalm 91, King David is reassuring his soul that there is strength and protection in the Most High. So in Psalm 91, it's Psalm 11 and 12 in particular that I tend to zero in on. So let me read this to you. Psalm 91:11 and 12 says, "For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest that thou dash thy foot against a stone." Now, what stands out to me about these two verses, is that in Matthew 4 and 6, the enemy approaches Jesus and tries to compel him to throw himself down from the top of a temple. And he cites, you guessed it, Psalm 91:11 and 12. So in Matthew chapter 4 and 6, he says, "And saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down. For it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone." So, in my mind, if the enemy knows Psalm 91, there's a good chance that we should probably know it too, and know it very well. There's so much to be gained from knowing how the enemy thinks, how he moves, and what he focuses in on, so that you can make sure that you are taking care of yourself in situations that are challenging, and that also challenge our righteousness. Our Heavenly Father is definitely a refuge in times of trouble, and it really is imperative, especially in this point in time. We have so many things that affect our minds and our spirits that we need to fortify ourselves, and the best way to do that is with the Word. Now, the one thing I have to say, though, is that I think that people tend to shy away from reading the Bible for a variety of reasons. And when I say read it, I mean read it in its entirety. One has to do with what we are taught in church, and most of that is that everything we need to know is in the New Testament. The Old Testament is simply history, or irrelevant. And I would say that in order to really understand the walk of Christ and what the Most High God expects from us, we should want to read the scriptures in their entirety, so that we can understand God's heart and what He's looking for from us. And also, that's how Christ developed Himself. He also read scriptures. So if they're good enough for Him, they're certainly good enough for me anyway. So I definitely um, would say to make sure that you take the opportunity to read for understanding, for your own protection, for your own strength, and for your own peace of mind. And you will find some amazing things that will start to happen in your life. Now, you also have to be willing to be accountable. Sometimes we don't want to find out what's there, because then that forces us to make decisions about the way we live our lives. And there are some things we just don't want to let go of, and it can present a conflict in our minds. So as you read, be open minded, be willing to consider the fact that we need to change. There are some things about us that need to change, so that we can walk more in righteousness and be more pleasing to the Most High God. I hope this message finds you well. I hope to hear from you. And please share this video. Please like and comment. Thank you for your time. Take care.